Just on my way walking to the restaurant. Tonight, what day is it today? Monday, August 1st. Thought I'd do something a little different and tell you what I did today and then show you the pictures rather than have to write down a bunch of stuff. So anyways, I had a really great day today, a really interesting day today. I went down to a place called Freeport, and I'll show you on a map where that is. But it's way down this little peninsula right south of Digby, and it was very cool to go there. And the reason I went there is because I have relatives in that area. My great-great-grandfather had a house there. He is from there. That's my great-great-grandfather Brooks. So this is on my mom's side of the family. It has nothing to do with Jesperson's. This is on the Brooks side of the family, on my mom's family. And so when I told Mom that I was going to Digby, she said, "Oh, you should go down to Freeport and have a look at the church that your great-great-grandfather built, and the house that they lived in, and stuff like that." So I went to Freeport today, and I did that. I went to the church, and I saw the church that he helped build. I talked to the guy that had something to do with it there, and he said that his wife was part of the historical society in that community. So I went and talked to her, and she gave me a whole wealth of information about my great-great-grandfather. His name was William, and even who his father was, Jeremiah, and his father before him, and stuff like that. And so it was really interesting, some of the stuff that I found out. And even my great-grandma Brooks, whose maiden name was McNeil, I found out that the McNeils were pretty big in that area too. And I went to the McNeil house that it's called, and nobody was living there. There's no more McNeils or Brooks left in Freeport. There's one guy that comes out once in a while in the summer, but you'll see some pictures of the McNeil house. But apparently the McNeils were loyalists. So what that means is during the Revolutionary War in the States, they were loyal to England. And so the British gave them free passage up to Canada, to Nova Scotia at the time. There was no real Canada, there was Upper and Lower Canada, and up to Nova Scotia, and gave them some land. And that's how the McNeils ended up in Freeport. And so I got all the history on that stuff too, and it's really, really kind of weird. So anyways, that's what I did today. And then I went to the house that my great-grandfather grew up in. I don't know if he grew up in it. My mom might have to correct me on that one. But my great-great-grandfather William, he would have built that house, or at least a portion of it. And my great-grandfather Roy, he would have lived there for a time. And then then Roy ended up moving out to Alberta. Him and his wife Hattie, whatever, Harriet I think is the real name. But anyways, they moved out west, and I knew her because she was quite alive when I was growing up, and we knew her as Great-Grandma Brooks. And so it was kind of fun to see some of that heritage. So you'll see a bunch of pictures, and there is still one person living there that is related, and her name is Shirley. And I went and I met her today. I knocked on her door, and I said, "Hello, I'm Lauren Jesperson. I'm your second cousin once removed." And she said, "Oh, come on in." And so I walked in, and we had a great time. And I explained to her how I was related, how her great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather are the same person. So it's just fun. I find it quite fun to play around with all those relations and try to figure out who's who. And that sort of stuff. So anyways, that's a bunch of long-winded stuff, a bunch of pictures, and a little bit of video coming up if you lasted through this.